Certainly two legends of the game, the great Eddie George, the new head coach at Bowling Green, of course. He's going into the Hall of Fame, three-time national championship coach Urban Meyer. And Eddie, a Bowling Green event in town in Columbus this weekend to, I don't know, help welcome you. What's this fanfare and everything been like as the new head coach of Bowling Green?
It's been awesome, Dom. It really has been. I mean, this has been a special evening. Since I've been on the job the last 2 months, it's been these type of events, this type of energy behind it. The enthusiasm has been phenomenal. When Urban first told me about the job, he says, hey, this community is very passionate about Bowling Green State. It's very special, and he did not disappoint at all. And it's just continued. So I'm just really overwhelmed. I have a heart of gratitude for all the support that they're showing here tonight and moving forward.
You know, Urban, you often talk about your fond memories from Bowling Green. You hear that Eddie George is getting the job, and I know you had your opinions on that. Why is he the right guy for the job?
Well, there's two things about the Bowling Green situation. I love Bowling Green, and I love Eddie George. Eddie and I, even before I was a coach at Ohio State, I believe it was Ohio State was playing LSU, and I was on Fox, he was on Fox, and the way he is, he didn't know me, I didn't know him. He treated me like I was his brother, and we've been really close ever since. And when Derek asked me for a name, I said, let me make a call, and I called Eddie, and I interviewed him on the phone, which I didn't have to. I know Eddie George. And I asked him a couple questions, and I called Derek back, and I said, you don't need to make many calls, you need to make one. And it's Eddie George, and I think that makes Eddie George special. I never coached him, but very rarely is it, obviously God blessed him with great talent, but his reputation was the ultimate grinder. Like a Nick Bosa, like a Zeke Elliott, like they were so talented, but man, and as a coach, you better be a grinder, because you can outwork wins. You can simply go in and you can outwork that opposing team and get a win. And I love Bowling Green, and I wanted to make sure they got the right guy, and they did.
You know, Eddie, I often say you are a Renaissance man. You've had many different careers. I mean, from theater to landscaping, you name it, you've done it. And now a football coach, and we saw what you did down in Tennessee. What are your expectations of Bowling Green? And, you know, we saw what Urban did when he was there. You want to carry that on, right?
My expectation is to win. I'm here to help this team win, to build championships. And I'm not going to worry about the outcome. I'm going to focus on the process and what it takes to get there, the habits that requires to get there. I've worn played many roles in my life, wore many different hats, but every role that I've played for the last 15, 16 years that I've been out of the game has prepared me for this moment. And it's allowed me to be the head coach that I can be. And one of the best things that I can do as a coach is to listen. Listening to Urban, listening to Nick Saban, listening to Coach Tressel, John Cooper. Those are my mentors, just to name a few. And it's been gratifying because every day I come into work, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still evolving as a leader. And that's been a phenomenal journey for me.
What kind of coach are you going to be? And we know what kind of player you were. Urban and I were I wouldn't want to tackle. Would you want to tackle him now? Look at him.
Right there.
Yeah. What kind of coach are you going to be? And the one thing I think it'd be fair to say is you're going to have a disciplined group, right?
It starts there. I believe, you know, my life has been successful because of my disciplined nature. And that's the type of coach I'm going to be. I'm going to have compassion. I'm going to allow kids to make their mistakes, but we're going to learn and grow from their mistakes, create an environment that provides growth with positive feedback. But I'm also going to push them beyond their comfort zone in every area of their life, whether it's as a student, as an athlete, and as a person. So that's what you can expect from me.
Urban, what advice would you give him in today's world? It's a different landscape. You really didn't have to deal with NIL and the transfer portal the way it is now. How will that affect Bowling Green? And a lot of people say it's not going to be as tough as it would be like with one of the Power Fives.
I'll be honest, I didn't even talk to him about that. I don't know. The last person he'd ask for advice on NIL would be me. I don't understand it. I agree that players should be played. I don't necessarily like the process, but my advice to Eddie George when he asked was be yourself and have a vision of what it. My first question was, when I sit in section B, seat 34, what am I going to see? You know, what's your personality? And he gave me the right answer. It was the same thing when he played. You're going to see a downhill team that's going to punch you right in the face. And I was like, I called Derek and I said, you got your coach. Because in college it's so much different than NFL. NFL is all about the player because they're grown men. In college, it's about the personality of the coach. You're going to have 17-year-old kids go play for him. 17-year-old, they're not developed yet. How do they develop? Him. It's going to be his personality, and I'm sold. I can't wait. I'm going to be at the first game. I get chills thinking about it.
Yeah, they're going to recognize you at the first game. That's going to be special. You're going into the Hall of Fame, and that was your first head coaching job, Bowling Green.
Yeah, I'm honored, and Derek's been so. I don't know Derek. I met him by phone, but I love Bowling Green. I would argue Sam B's. I like Trotter's Steakhouse, but I love Bowling Green. I love the people, and we can't wait. Shelley and I are going to be there and have a ball. And we're going to watch Eddie get his first W.
Obviously, there's a game scheduled in 27. Not that you're looking ahead because you got to take, but you're going to bring Bowling Green to Ohio State. How weird? Have you thought about that? Did you happen to notice that was on?
Green at Ohio State or Ohio State at Bowling Green?
I think it's the other way around. You're going to come down.
Dom, I'm going to do some coach speak here. We're going to take it one game at a time. All right, let's 1 year at a time. I'm not even thinking about that game.
Did you knew it was on the schedule?
I know it's on the schedule, but we're going to take it one game at a time.
What are you looking most forward to in that first game? Urban's going to be there. John Cooper's going to be there. What are you looking for?
Well, I want my team to be prepared. I'm looking forward to having a team that's well prepared, and it all starts. The next phase is May 19th when we come back for summer conditioning, and that's what I'm looking for. So when I go, and Urban's in the house, and John Cooper's here, we're celebrating Urban and his accomplishment of going to the College Football Hall of Fame. I want to make sure my team is well prepared, they're well conditioned, and they're ready to go out and kick some tail.
I know you've given him some advice. Build a fence around Ohio, recruit Ohio hard, right?
Oh yeah, the good thing he's walking into, they have stuff to sell. And it was a much different job in 2001. I went up there, I think 2 years ago. Scott had me come up and watch practice and talk to the team, and I remember thinking, my gosh, this looks like a real, not that it wasn't before, but it's a real place. You can compete. We were behind the 8 ball a little bit, and I know the one thing about the MAC conference, the Big Ten, you got Ohio State, the Wolverines, Penn State, and then you got a lot of other teams. The MAC conference the teams look alike. When they come out of the tunnel, we had Marshall, they looked a little different because they had better players than we did. But the rest of the MAC, if they can become that Eddie George heart and soul, it's going to be a good thing up in Bowling Green.
Well, guys, thanks a lot. There you have it. Heisman Trophy winner, NFL great, and now the head coach of Bowling Green. And this guy, Adam, he needs to know, this is a Hall of Famer now. This is 3-time national champ, Urban Meyer.